My name is Slepcevic. I'm the CEO of Strategic Response Partners, a disaster management company. We do a lot of planning for critical infrastructure when disasters may happen, everything from whether it be a hurricane, wildfires, a collapse, COVID, an EMP strike, whatever it may be. That's what we do. We do planning for them, and then we provide a critical response team. So when an event occurs, we bring that team in to assist in the entire recovery process. A lot of people don't understand those areas that EMS services are not coming for you. Once the winds hit 40, 45 miles an hour, EMS stands down. The fire department's not coming to get you. Law enforcement's not coming to getting to your place if your business is getting looted. And opportunists know that that type of stuff's happening. So when there's evacuation orders, I always say, evacuate, stay safe, stay out of the area. But again, for the business owners and property owners, these guys, they want first responders in there. So we are the private medical, we are the private security that comes in and is well equipped for this type of stuff, because we bring in all the resources as if we're a small city moving into a city, and we're self-sustainable. We have all our sat phones, our bivvy sticks, our fuel, our power, our food, and we bring in our own team. So we're able to provide medical, armed guard services to protect those assets and keep it in place. We bring in all our mechanical engineers, mechanical, structural, environmental, to make sure that whatever has to be done to prevent damage from happening, we're on scene. I think one of the most challenging was Hurricane Dorian, because it's on an island. Puerto Rico was another one that was challenging, just because of how to get in and out of working on islands and remote places. I always say the biggest response, because there's so many lessons learned from the very first one, which was Hurricane Andrew, right? When I look back at Hurricane Andrew, we didn't have the tools or the technology that we have today, and as the tech has improved and weather forecasting has improved, we've only gotten better at it. The team's also gotten, like everything else, get sharpened. You go through these different type of scenarios and you just get better at your craft. You pick and choose better team members, and your skill set just gets better with each event. I remember Hurricane Ike. We almost lost a bunch of trailers because of the weather forecasting was showing the hurricane was coming up at a certain part of the beach, and it came in a little bit earlier, and we almost lost a bunch of trailers and equipment. So for that type of stuff, I've learned just how critical forecasting is, and listening to the certain meteorologists that really knew their craft when it came to this type of stuff. We have over 2,700 vendors that are vetted in our network. So when we're going into a hurricane area, we're not the ones that are getting tapped out. Our wheels aren't coming off. We're not running out of equipment. We're not running out of manpower, right? And we're matching the right specific sub, certain contractor, power generation, fuel. We have the resources and the bandwidth to really perform for that client. I give credit where credit's due, and that was to one of our top meteorologists, who's by far one of the best in forecasting. And former military, worked at the Air Force Base. He was the chief meteorologist for the most space shuttle launches. He was also the one that monitored the White House. So if the First Lady came out, a light sweater or an umbrella, depending on what the circumstances was, monitored the Baghdad Air Force Base. And currently is one of the chief meteorologists for the NFL, for the Super Bowls, for the F1 Formula track. Works with Anadarko, so whether they pull an oil rig off and move it or they don't, there's millions of dollars involved in that. So for us, it's important, because if we miscalculate something, I'm bringing first responders, both everything from armed guards to paramedics, into a zone and riding that hurricane out at ground zero. So the last thing that I want to be is put my people in harm's way. So when my team deploys, I know their wives, their husbands, their kids, so there's a lot of weight on me to make sure that I get it right every single time. And my job is to bring them in safely to a disaster zone and get everybody home safe. I think it goes back to when I was about 12 years old, just being fascinated with disasters, sitting back watching TV and seeing people going down through the rivers and these floods in makeshift boats on mattresses, Seeing a family standing in front of a home at 2 o'clock in the morning in their pajamas as their house is on fire and the fire department's putting the fire out. And coming from a family of developers, at a young age, I was the one in the ditches digging the dirt, putting the rebar in, setting the forms, pouring the concrete, setting the walls. So I learned the construction trades at a very young age. And for me, it was more about who's going to put their lives back together, who's going to create some normalcy after a major disaster. And so that's where I got fascinated in that. Went to college for structural engineering, architectural design, ran a commercial contracting company since '89 to about '05. Opened up an adjusting company, and then used my disaster planning and management company to actually take the entire umbrella and bring it all under one house, under one roof. Well, the best way to connect with me is you can find me on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram. A lot of those pages, I interact from time to time. I get a lot of responses on it. You can also reach me at steve@srp24.com. We also have a page we set up for people on just preparing their own personal disaster plan. That's srp24.com/prepare. A page of resources, a short 20-minute video on what you can do to prepare now. Again, on the affiliate, I don't have zero affiliate links. I'm not into any type of promo. It's just stuff that I use, that I feel that the resources there are things that are beneficial to me and my family when I'm preparing a disaster plan on a personal basis.